Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night Principal Chiropractic broadcast, sponsored by DE and Chiropractic Band of Brothers around the world. You're getting excited because DE is coming. DE is coming. It's next weekend, January 29th through February 1st. If you haven't registered, use the QR code there and register right now. The room blocks for the Perimeter Center, the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center, is done. So if you don't have a room, probably reach out to Kat at DE. She usually has 2 or 3 rooms up her sleeve, or she can at least advise you where to go other than that. So again, reach out to Kat if you don't have a room. Register right now. And again, now's the time to get the energy up, get going. If you have questions, if you want to reach out to somebody, reach out to your teams. Get connected with your Connect group. I'm on the purple team. Obviously, the purple team, the best team of all. So you want to ask me questions, feel reach out to it. But again, use these teams. That's what we want to do, is stay connected, build the energy, keep the energy between DE to DE to DE. Okay. Again, the following meetings are in in April, then down in Sandy Key in Clearwater, and then we go back to Atlanta for the next 2 in summer and fall. So, for no further ado, BJ said, you never know how far reaching what you think, say, you do today can affect millions tomorrow, or to the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So, Dr. Sidoti is a second-generation chiropractor. His dad used to come to DE. We were talking before he jumped on here that he was in the womb when he came to his first DE. And he graduated 6 years ago. He's from Passaic, New Jersey. He's got a great family there, and his dad had a CA one time, and Claudia he sent her to chiropractic school, and now she helps run Drew's office, and just a great DE doc. So you just never how far reaching this thing goes. It's deep, it's family, and it's family. So right back to Passaic, New Jersey for our brother. Let's give it up for Evann Sidoti. Love you, man.
All right. Thank you for the intro there, Andy. Excited to see y'all in D and next weekend. So I've been busy. I hope everyone else has been busy as well. And yeah, it's a lot of work running a chiropractic office, as I'm sure all of you know. And it's fun, but it's a lot of work. So I'm just going to kind of go through the past, 6 months of my life, what's been going on. But for the past 5 years, we have been consistently in our office seeing around 300 to 350 a week. Things start getting busier, and we bounce up this to about 350, and then things go back down. And then we tweak the dials and we go back up. Maybe we'll get to 375, and then things go back down. And it's a lot of years of going back and forth, and you want to grow, you want to get better, and you're like, what do I do? And it had to be a while ago at this point, probably 3 years ago. I talked to Lieberman at a DE, and I'm like, Dr. Brian, I'm getting tired. Once we start getting busier, I'm just exhausted at the end of the day. And he's like, you exercising? I'm like, yeah, I'm exercising. And he asked me a couple other questions, and he's like, maybe you're just a 325 a week chiropractor. And then I think he had to go. It's like, okay, sounds good. And then I would talk to other docs, and I was thinking about getting an associate because I'm getting tired. It's like, if I'm having a hard time handling the volume, then get someone else. But everybody said the same thing. Grow to 400 a week, 500 a week, then you can start looking for an associate. And I listened. Most of the time it's wise to listen to people that are further ahead of you in your career, especially when those people are DE doctors. But after 5 years of having the same problem, Maybe Lieberman was right. Maybe I'm just a 325 a week chiropractor. So I said, I'm going to ignore all y'all and I'm going to go and I'm going to get an associate. And that's a really exciting thing. But like once you make the decision, then it brings up a lot of other questions and challenges. How do you find the right associate? How do you and specifically for me, I'm in Passaic, New Jersey, where 60% of our patient population only speak Spanish. So how do I find someone that speaks Spanish? How do I attract a quality associate into the office? Because you can't just take anybody. You need someone good, because if you're spending this money on bringing another doctor into your office, they got to produce, right? So I'm doing the obvious stuff. I'm thinking that I'm gonna get along better with a new grad versus an older doc. And I'm posting in the chiropractic school job boards. I'm looking in Facebook groups. I became a Sherman PMOE doctor. I'm sending out emails to the career departments at all the schools, and probably not surprising to many of you that none of that worked. Pretty much got nothing. So then I figured out I had a few DEs, so I printed out some flyers. Talking to students, I'm handing them out. Associate opportunity, beautiful pictures of the office, and people are interested, but I keep running into the same two problems. I needed someone that speaks Spanish, and they needed to either live in New Jersey or they wanted to move to New Jersey. And apparently, that is an almost impossible combination, because everyone that speaks Spanish is a native speaker of Spanish. They don't like the cold. I don't know what it is. They're all excited. Oh my God, this looks great. Oh, New Jersey, too cold. Don't want to go there. Happened time and time again. Um, so now I'm posting some ads on Indeed, going outside the circle, and I'm not getting anyone. And this goes on for months. And my friend Dr. Anthony Lopez, he got an associate a few years back. He used a recruiting company, and I really didn't want to go that route, but reluctantly I decided, okay, let's try the recruiting company, because I'm not really getting any traction here. And I get on the phone. They do this, this interview. What do you need? What kind of person are you looking for? What are your technique? Da, 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 da. And I tell them, I'm like, this is the most important thing. I need someone that speaks Spanish. And they're like, oh, you want a Spanish speaking chiropractor in New Jersey? That's going to be hard. And I'm like, what? What is going on? They're like, no guarantees, but I set it up anyway, because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to serve more people in our community. And anyway, the first week after I hire this company, they send me someone that fits both criteria. It was incredible. This guy lived in New Jersey, and he spoke Spanish. He had blonde hair, and he was older. He was like I think 50 years old, and I don't know. He said he wrote a book, and he was crazy, but like it was like that kind of good crazy that you find a lot at DE. Where he's got no filter. He just kind of says stream of consciousness speaking, and that's I'm going to say the opposite of me, but it's good to kind of put those two personalities in the same office, and those type of people generally do very well in a chiropractic office. So I call the guy up. I'm talking to him, and we get to the point. I'm like, hey, do you have any references? And he's like, yeah, I do. He's like, Dr. George Curry? I said, Dr. George Curry, former ICA president, Dr. George Curry? He said, yeah, that's my reference. I said, wow, what are the chances? And then I Google him, and this guy was like I guess he was like a boxer. He did some like UFC, MMA fighting or something. And I Google him, his name. The first picture that comes up is him with his fists up in front of an ANS chart. And I was like, all right, this is my kind of guy. This recruiting company. Why didn't I do this sooner? Uh, anyway, I have a few more phone calls with the guy. He's odd, but he fits the criteria, so we're gonna overlook that. Um, and I get him into the office so he can see how we operate. And I'm bringing him in. I bring him into the adjusting rooms, just like because it's got to be a good fit for him too. He's got to know exactly what we do and want to be a part of our team. And I'm getting him involved. And I had a patient come in, and they were like looking at him like, well, yeah, there you go. Introduce yourself. And I tell him, introduce yourself to this person. And the dude freezes. He couldn't find the words. And I'm like, you said you speak Spanish. And, then he's like, yeah, my Spanish is a little rusty. But give me a week and it'll all come back. And I'm like, "It- Spanish can get rusty, but it doesn't get that rusty that you forget how to introduce yourself." And this guy had the confidence, but he just couldn't back it up. He couldn't speak Spanish, and I don't know. I told him that all of our I don't know what he was thinking and how he would get away with not speaking Spanish when I tell everybody, yeah, Spanish officer, you're gonna have to speak a lot of Spanish. But anyway, good guy, didn't work out, doesn't speak enough Spanish. On to the next one. So I get more people from this recruiting company, and they're just sending everybody my way if they speak a little bit of Spanish. So I call up on the phone, and all they can say is "Boca arriba, boca abajo," and that's not going to do it in Passaic. And then I think this was an Indeed ad. I met this other guy, and he actually had good Spanish, and I liked him. And he was in New Jersey, which is other criteria, very important. He seemed like a great match. I got him into the office. We're talking at lunch. I'm bringing him around. I'm giving him the tour, and I'm like, hey, I want you to stay to see what it's like when we open up, and so you can see the flow of the patients. In our back office, we have a calendar with how many visits we're doing every day, and I show him. I'm like, yeah, we did 100 on Monday. We did 85 on Wednesday. We did 50 on Tuesday, and then 97 on Thursday last week. And he's like, "You're just that many people a day?" I was like, "Yeah, I told you on the phone in one of our first conversations that it's high volume office. We serve a lot of people." And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." I'm like, "You don't want to do that?" Hey, scratching my head. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to adjust that many people. I'm thinking like 30." And I'm like, "That's 30. 30. We do that in the first couple hours. We got a whole day." And I'm like, "No, you'll see. Just stay for a little bit more time, and we're gonna see. Like you'll see, we got a great system here. Things run really, really smoothly. It's gonna be. You'll see. It's quick adjustments. We train the patients very, very well." He's like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah. I don't want to do that." And the dude walks out. I'm like, okay, harder than I thought to find an associate. So now I'm at another DE, and I figure if I'm going to pay a recruiting company to find someone, why not extend the offer out to students as well? You know, so the students that go to D, quality students, they know people that are graduating. So I put a $5,000 bounty on a referral from any student who gave me the contact info of someone I ended up hiring. I thought that was a fantastic deal, and that got people excited. But I kept getting texts like, "Oh yeah, I got someone. They speak Spanish, but they don't want to go to New Jersey." And I'm like, "Gosh, what is wrong? It's a great place. You guys got to come visit New Jersey. It's awesome." Okay. um, so I'm going through this process, and anyway, I did end up finding an associate, and I'm sure this won't come to a surprise for many of you, but it came from someone at DE, Alex Rubin. Believe it or not, the inner circle. This guy was scouring the Facebook groups. I don't know. He must just checked it every time he woke up, every day at lunch, and he would go on that page and he was able to connect me with someone that that posted, and he had to go to one of his friends that went to school with the guy so that they could, call him up. And anyway, he got in touch with him, and we told like I was talking to him. I flew him up, and we had and he stayed, and he came to the office, and things were going well. But I think he had some other offers going on, and he wasn't too stoked about the New Jersey thing. But uh in that time, it was like early September. We told him, because he was living in Atlanta at the time, and we told him you got to go to DE. There's a DE late October, so it was like 2 months later, more or less. And Alex and I, probably as well as most of you, have probably told hundreds of people the same thing: come to DE, check it out, your life's going to be better. And they don't listen. But this guy, Dr. Felipe, he showed up. And not only did he show up, but I watched him. He quietly sat in his seat, left side of the room, pen and paper in hand, pen in hand, taking notes the entire time. And of the few students or people that do show up to DE, they usually come in for 2 talks and they leave. But not Felipe. He came in, and he probably took in, I don't know, 16 hours of DE that weekend. He even showed up on Sunday, and that really sold me on the guy. So now we've had Dr. Felipe in the office since December 1st, and everything's going to plan. We started him off in December, one of the coldest months of the year, and I had to give him a couple jackets because I don't think he understood how cold it was actually going to be. So, but we got him ready. I've been teaching him how to get the snow off of his car, and so funny. He's from Puerto Rico, and his dad told him that in before it snows, everybody in the cold states, they throw salt all over their car so that when the snow comes down, it just melts. I've never heard of anybody doing that, but I guess it's true. The native Spanish speakers don't know what to do in the cold. But anyway, we actually had a really cold day today. It was like 15 degrees this morning. It was freezing, but he survived. He made it into work today, and he's got the heart and he's got the will to serve, which is that's really what you can't get that in someone. You gotta find that person, and they need to make that decision themselves. And now it's just the training and the learning processes. And it always comes back to what Dr. Sid said. It's, can you speak with confidence? Can you speak with authority? And that's what we're working on right now. I think we turned the corner last week. It's going really, really good. I'm very, very happy. But he has to know that he knows that he knows, so that our patients can trust him. It's we've all had it. It's not easy. It's not comfortable being the new doctor, but it's part of the process. And a couple times I'll see him, and he looks defeated, or he's struggling in a situation, and I tell him, well, like, Felipe, this is what growth feels like. This is why most people don't improve. They don't get better. They turn away from this feeling. They run away. So what you're feeling right now, that is growth, and you just gotta relish in this experience. And we're working on the tone, and I'm like, so he's younger, so like you got to be authoritative, but not too much, or you lose the connection. and you got to love them, but also you got to be able to call people out because they're not sticking to the plan. If they don't stick to the plan, they're not going to get the results. And you need to connect with them and be friendly, but they're not there to be your friend. You got to educate and teach them, but not so much that it feels like a lecture. And you got to lead the conversation, but you also still have to give them time and space to speak. And I think we've all gone through that where you're trying to tweak the dials and figure out to how to reach people and how to get them to understand the power that is within their body, that when you know get their nervous system functioning better, you release that innate intelligence, what is possible. And for Felipe, he's been doing awesome, and it's like the most important thing which he's been doing is, when things don't go well, you have to get up, you got to clear your mind, and you got to move on fresh to the next person, because there are a lot of people out there who need us, and it's about more than just us. So that's what I got for today. Really excited to be on this journey with all of you, and me and Felipe, Dr. Felipe, will be at DE next week. So if you want to say what up, say hello, we'll be there. And yeah, excited.
Dios de bendiga. Woo! Yes, that was good. I wrote some notes down. You got to be able to call them out, make sure they're on their care plan, but you got to do it with love. Love that. Okay. Lead the conversation, but allow them to speak. They need to have their voice too. And then it's all about them needing us, not about us needing them. I think that's the main thing, that as a young doc, young associates, they always think that we need them, but the honest to God, they need us, and they know how bad they need us. So you have to speak with authority, and you have to be able to lead the charge with love. Great job, my brother. Great job. Super job. So everybody, reminder, 9 days from now, DE starts. Get down there and give he and Felipe a hug. Give me a hug. Excited to see y'all, and we'll see you next week. Great job, my man.
Love Absolutely. You. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.